It's the 12 biggest riddles never solved. In 1990, a sculpture that is partitioned into 4 sections was installed in the courtyard outside the cafeteria of the Central Intelligence Agency in Virginia. It's called Cryptos, and despite being located in the middle of the CIA, has never been solved, or at least the solution has never been published. The sculpture is primarily made up of a curved S-shaped copper screen with the letter shapes cut out of it. The screen is the main part of the sculpture, but the artist behind the piece, named Jim Sanborn, installed other pieces, including several copper sheets with Morse code messages imprinted on them, and a stone slab with a compass rose that points to a lodestone. Out of the 4 sections of the main sculpture, only 3 have been solved. However, the last section is the most important part of the cryptogram. Some speculate that the CIA has solved the riddle and simply have not published the answers yet. In 1933, General Wang of China was allegedly given 7 of these gold bars, engraved with mysterious imagery, cryptograms, and Latin texts. The origin of these gold bars is unknown. Many cryptogram enthusiasts believe that it was made post-World War II and had a story fabricated about its narrative beginning in 1933. Whether one or the other is true, the origin of these gold bars still remains a mystery that no one has the answer to. LCS-35 is also known as the time clock puzzle. It's a cryptographic challenge designed by researcher Robert Rivas in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, better known as MIT. It is a perplexing mathematical problem that, when solved, would unlock the lead time capsule. It was sealed in 1999 and expected to take 35 years to crack. The problem involves dividing an enormously huge number by a slightly less huge number, about 600 digits long. Basically, it's going to take a lot of trial and error to solve this riddle. In the first edition of Codes and Ciphers, an elementary book on cryptography, a still unsolved cryptogram known as the decoded cipher was featured within, prompting readers to test their skills on solving it. It was not included in later editions of the book, despite the fact that the original was never solved. It is a very complex ciphertext, probably featuring null characters or dummy characters. There's one possible solution, which reads, "The new plan of attack includes operations by 3 bomber squadrons over a factory area southwest of the river." However, that is unsolved. The Gapiev himself admits that he forgot the pattern he used to encode the cipher, so we may never know the true answer to this riddle. The Dora Bella cipher is an enciphered letter written by composer Edward Elgar to Dora Penny, which was accompanied by another. Penny never deciphered it, and its meaning remains unknown. The cipher is 87 characters, spread over 3 lines, appearing to be made up of 24 symbols, consisting of 1, 2, or 3 approximate semicircles, oriented in one of 8 directions. The story of this cipher is that it possibly is a love message that was sent from Sir Edward to Dora Penny, although it seems more like a series of unreadable squiggles. The current proposed solution is that it is a melody from an unpublished Edward Elgar score. The Beale Papers are a pamphlet that was anonymously published in Virginia containing 3 ciphers that, once decoded, would reveal the location of buried treasure worth tens of millions of dollars. The first text describes the location. The second ciphertext describes the content of the treasure. And the third text lists all the names of the treasure's owners and their next of kin. Out of all of these texts, only the second one describing the content has been solved. However, the other 2 ciphers remain completely unsolved, and a number of anomalies suggest that the whole thing might just be a huge unsolvable prank. This is named after the Polish-American bookseller Wilfred M. Voynich, who acquired it in 1912. It is a 240-page book written in a language or script that is completely unknown to anyone. Its pages are also filled with colorful drawings and diagrams, odd plants that don't seem to match any actual plants we see on Earth. Carbon dating revealed that the book was made sometime between 1404 and 1438, but no one knows by whom or where the original person was from. Some believe that it is an old book about ancient medicines, astronomy, and alchemy, but the language is completely unintelligible. In 1999, 2 written documents were found in the pockets of a murder victim named Ricky McCormick. His body was found in a cornfield in Missouri off Route 367, partly decomposed. After the FBI failed to solve the encrypted notes in his pocket, they issued a public appeal for help in solving the code. However, the code itself has come into criticism, as McCormick's family states that he was always writing nonsense onto scraps of paper, and there was no way he was smart enough to write in code. The Taman Shud case, also known as the mystery of the Somerton Man, is an unsolved case of the unidentified man found dead at 6:30 a.m. The victim washed up on a beach just south of Adelaide in Australia and had a piece of paper sewn to his trousers that read Taman Shud, which means ended or finished in Persian. This scrap paper had been from a copy of Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of poems attributed to the 12th century poet Omar Khayyam. The Taman case gained public attention into the early 50s, but it was never solved. The Phaistos disc is a 4,000-year-old clay disc that was discovered in 1908 on the Greek island of Crete, but no one seems to have been able to translate the mysterious language inscribed on the disc, which dates back to 1700 BC, at the height of the Minoan civilization. The disc can be read in a spiral direction from outside to the inside. It was unsolved for hundreds of years until 2014, when a professor claimed to have cracked the hieroglyphs and postulated that it is an inscription of a prayer to a Minoan goddess. The Zodiac Killer is a serial killer active during the late 1960s and early 1970s. He became a high-profile criminal with the publication of his mysterious letters in newspapers. These letters included 4 mysterious cryptograms written in an unbreakable cipher. Of these 4, only one has been allegedly solved. The identity of the killer to this day is still unknown, but the California Department of Justice has maintained an open case file on him since 1969. The encoded letters might be a clue to his true identity or location, but since we have never broken the code, we have also never found the Zodiac Killer. His true identity, as well as the key to the puzzles left behind, is still one of the world's greatest unsolved riddles. Hidden in the grounds of the Shugborough Hall in Staffordshire, England, is the Shugborough Monument. The monument features in the center a relief image of Nicholas Poussin's painting called The Shepherds of Arcadia. The most interesting part of this mysterious sculpture is the inscription right below the painting, which features a series of letters. The 8 letters OUOSVAVV framed by D and M slightly below those letters. While the monument was built sometime between 1748 and 1763, over 250 years ago, the cipher has remained completely unsolved. It's often credited with being one of the world's top uncracked ciphertexts.